Welcome to Brian360 and welcome to one of the most iconic sites in Reykjavik, Iceland. For a tourist anyway. It is 6:38 in the morning on September 12th, 2025, looking southeast on Skolavordustigur, Rainbow Street, towards Hallgrímskirkja, an incredible Lutheran church that is a must-see if you are visiting Iceland. As in all my Iceland videos, I apologize for my Icelandic pronunciations. My great-great-grandparents from Seyðisfjörður on the east coast of Iceland would be ashamed. Or hopefully not. Okay, here we go. Fast forward. Skolavordustigur is a great street for tourists with plenty of restaurants and shopping, and as you can see at the end of this street is the church that we will be visiting. A short distance from this area will bring you to many of Reykjavik's sites that tourists flock to see, many of which are within walking distance. And we have arrived. It's about 6:45 in the morning now, and there aren't many of those pesky tourists around getting in my camera shots. And yes, I apologize when I'm the pesky tourist getting in front of other people's camera shots. I came back to Hallgrímskirkja after visiting it the day before when it was full of tourists, and that's the footage you'll see from the inside of the church. So in addition to this very nice walk leading to the church, I'll show you the incredible view from the top of all of Reykjavik. We'll then head down into the nave and sanctuary of the church, and then we'll do a quick trip around the outside of the church. We are looking at a statue of Leif Erikson. There are multiple spellings and pronunciations, by the way, who is credited with being the first European to set foot in North America, founding a settlement at Lance or Meadows in Newfoundland, Canada. The inscription on the back of that statue reads, Leifr Eiricsson, son of Iceland, discoverer of Vinland, the United States of America, to the people of Iceland on the 1000th anniversary of the Althing, AD 1930. The Althing was Iceland's parliament held at Thingvellir, where I will be visiting later that day, and eventually will be posting a video of that. The amazing shape of this church is said to be inspired by Iceland's basalt lava columns, which are seen throughout the country and look like this, in a photo that I took at Reykjavik Beach the next day. Construction began in 1945 and took 41 years to complete, finally opening in 1986. Admission to the church is free, but definitely take the elevator up for the view. 1,400 kroners for an adult, 1,000 for seniors, 200 for children. And here we are up top. The three large bells that we're looking at are named after Hallgrímur, his wife Guðrúður, and their daughter Steina. I'll talk a little bit more about who those people are in a few minutes. We start looking west out of the viewing platform, and we will head counterclockwise, ending up looking over the front of the church with the north view. Right here is Skolavordustigur, the street I walked up to get to Hallgrímskirkja. And that is the Leifr Eiricsson Hotel. We should have stayed there. That's an inside joke for my mother and brother. Way off in the distance, you can see an airplane landing strip. That is Reykjavik Domestic Airport, which is not where you will be landing if you are on an international flight. Those flights land further to the west in Keflavik, which is about a 45-minute drive from Reykjavik. Down below in the parking lot, you can see a bus. This is where many day tours start and end, in the church parking lot. So keep that in mind if you're doing a day trip out of Reykjavik. Looking south, way off in the distance, is Perlan, an incredible nature museum that unfortunately we didn't have time to visit. The website makes me sad. It looks so good. As I'm making this video, I'm discovering all the things that we did not have time to visit in Reykjavik. Maybe next time. Looking down, we can see the top of the nave and the sanctuary of the church. We will head there in a couple of minutes to take a look around inside the interior of this amazing building. A short walk from Hallgrímskirkja, you will find the Reykjavik Art Museum right here. Another place to visit when we return to Reykjavik someday. Looking to the northeast is the Esja mountain range, about 10 kilometers from Reykjavik, which is a popular spot for hikers and climbers. In front of that you can see the water, where there is a very nice boardwalk area. Right about here is where you will find the Sun Voyager sculpture right on the water. Here is a sneak peek of the Sun Voyager. I'll be making a much longer video of this, along with a walk along the water to the Harpa Concert Hall. Okay, if you do not like church bells, please plug your ears. Those bells go off every 15 minutes and timed perfectly for this segment. Looking to the north again, we can see the Harpa Concert Hall and Conference Center. This is a busy area of Reykjavik where there are plenty of attractions to see, including several museums. If we were to do this trip over again, I would spend another couple of days in Reykjavik. There is so much to see in this picturesque and walkable city, and the one full day that we had there was simply not enough. Maybe 3 days, maybe a week would be good. Down below is the Leifr Eiricsson statue that welcomed us to Hallgrímskirkja. Reykjavik is a beautiful city to walk around in, and this view from above simply adds to the experience. I highly recommend doing this. It will add to your trip to Iceland. Back at the main entrance of the church, we are now going to walk into the worship area, known as the nave, and the sanctuary where the altar is. When we were up top looking at the bells, I mentioned they were named after Hallgrimr, his wife Guthríður, and their daughter Steinum. The church is named after Hallgrimr Pétursson, who lived from 1614 to 1674. Just before I launch into a brief history about Hallgrimr Pétursson, I should point out that I'm going to post portions of this video in a 360 format, which allows you to control the view and look any direction you like. It was incredibly impressive walking into this part of the church, and being able to control the view will be a fun way to experience it. For a brief history on Hallgrimr Pétursson, I'm going to read a display that was posted on the wall of the church. Hallgrimr Pétursson is Iceland's most renowned devotional poet. As a boy, Hallgrimr's father had moved to the episcopal seat in Hólar in North Iceland, and Hallgrimr attended the cathedral school there. Hallgrimr was expelled from the school and went to Copenhagen, where, among other things, he toiled in a blacksmith's shop. Bishop Brynjolfur Sveinsson arranged for him to study at the city's Latin school, Vorfruskol. As a student of divinity, Hallgrimr was put in charge of working with a group of Icelanders who had been captured by corsairs from Algiers in the Turkish raid of 1627 and kept in bondage until some of them were ransomed. After their long sojourn among Muslims, Hallgrimr's job was to help them readjust to Christian society. One of the redeemed captives was a woman from the Westman Islands, Guthríður Simonadóttir. They fell in love, and she conceived a child by him. Again, Hallgrimr was expelled from school. He and Guthríður returned to Iceland, accused of adultery. Eventually, they were allowed to marry. Later, Hallgrimr became pastor of Hvalnes in the southwest, and then in the good parish of Saurbæjar in Hvalfjordur, West Iceland. Hallgrimr Pétursson died on 27th of October, 1674, aged 60, and once again I apologize for butchering Icelandic. So why was Hallgrimr Pétursson honored by naming this incredible church after him? While he was in Saurbæjar in the west, he wrote his best-known works, the Hymns of the Passion. The following is directly from a display in the church. The 50 Hymns of the Passion are an account of Christ's Passion and the poet's meditations on the subject. The hymns have been published more often than any other book in Iceland, and they became familiar to every Icelander. They have had more influence on Icelanders' religious practice and prayer than any other book. The hymns were read aloud in the home, and verses from them were recited daily as prayers. Ever since the Icelandic National Broadcasting Service was founded in 1930, the Hymns of the Passion have been read on radio during Lent each year. One of his hymns, often printed with the Hymns of the Passion, on Death's Uncertain Hour, is still sung at most funerals in Iceland. The Hymns of the Passion have been translated into English, German, Hungarian, Norwegian, Danish, and Italian, and some of them have been translated into Chinese and Dutch. Unfortunately, as I walked through the church, I neglected to get a good close-up of the statue of Jesus Christ to the left of the door. This statue was a gift from the famous Icelandic sculptor Einar Jónsson. In Reykjavik, you can visit the Einar Jónsson Museum to see more of his works, as well as many public monuments throughout the city. And now this is me playing with my 360 camera, allowing me to get some very strange but interesting shots and angles. I am simply standing still with my camera, and all of this movement is through processing on my computer later. As I said earlier, I will post the 360 version of parts of this video, so you can explore on your own as if you were in Hallgrímskirkja, and without me yammering in your ear. Now we switch to a quick walk around the outside in the early morning session. Standing at 73 meters or 239 feet high, Hallgrímskirkja is the second tallest building in Iceland and its most visited tourist destination. If you would like to visit, the church is open from 10 in the morning till 5 in the evening. However, there might be special events during the day that close the church, so just check on their website to make sure your visit will be a smooth one. As we leave Hallgrímskirkja, I will read the inscription above the door. When you enter into the house of God, take great care, my devout soul. Do not carry yourself, but your Lord with you, God in his temple. Bow the knee of your flesh and heart, let not hypocrisy dwell within, for it will bring you shame. The inscription on the door reads, Komið til mín, Icelandic for come to me. It is a quotation from Matthew chapter 11, verse 28 in the Bible, Come to me, all you who are weary and burdened, and I will give you rest. And here I am with my traveling companions, my brother on the left, Mom in the middle, and me on the right. Thank you very much for watching. Please like, subscribe, share, and sign up for notifications. And come back. There will be a lot more Iceland videos to come. Thank you again, and take care.